Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a Bill Russell build, so make sure he's a centre and we'll move on to the body settings. So on basketballreference.com he's listed at 6'10", but for the build we're just going to drop it to 6'9". Now this is important because I do want to get clamps with this build because as we know, he's a fantastic defender. And although they didn't track defensive stats back when he played, I think we all can agree that he was a really great shot blocker and lockdown defender and probably would have won a lot of defensive player of the years in his time. He's a 5-time MVP as it was, so I don't think that's too far of a stretch to say that he probably would have won a few defensive player of the years. So we want to be 6'9" to get that clamps badge as well. Now in terms of the weight, we're just going to drop it by a couple, by 6 pounds to 244. So this is just to boost a bit of speed and to get that perimeter defense to 86. Now for wingspan, we are going to max that out because obviously he wasn't shooting back then. Players, they didn't have the 3-point line back then. Most players weren't shooting from very far out. So we want to make sure we can maximise our defense and finishing abilities. So we're going to max out their wingspan. Body shape, just go with defined because he was quite lean as a player. We'll move on to the attributes. Now I will say Bill Russell was very athletic. If you watch some of the film and footage of him playing, he could run up and down the court quicker than pretty much everyone playing. He'd be a prototypical small forward, I think, in the NBA today. Just really athletic, great defensively. He'd be one of the best defenders, two-way players in the league at the moment. In terms of his finishing, because of that athleticism, I wanted to give the build some scoring ability. So of course we're going to go close shot to 85 just to get that gold fast twitch. Driving layup, we're going to push to 70 to get some layup packages. And then for driving dunk, we are going to push that to 86. So at 84, of course, you get the pro contact dunks. 85, you get silver posterizer. And then 86, you get gold limitless takeoff, which is in tier 2, which is fantastic. Now for standing dunk, we are going to push that to an 80. Just to get a good rating and to get silver rise up. Just to help with those standing dunks. Of course, you'll unlock a lot of packages and dunk packages and things that require an 80 standing dunk. And then post control, he's a big man. Back in the day, they were predominantly scoring in the post. And although he only shot about 44% from the field, which is pretty low for a center, I do want the build to have a pretty decent level of post moves. So what we're going to do is we're going to put post control to 78. Back down Punisher will get upgraded to gold when we upgrade strength later in the build. So it will be gold. Now for shooting, we're not going to upgrade shooting at all except for free throw. We're just going to push that to a 70. He didn't shoot very well from the free throw line. It was only about 56%. But you are a slasher, so I did want a decent enough free throw. Now for playmaking, they didn't track... they did track assists. He was about 4 assists a game, which wasn't terrible. But we're just going to push, as usual, pass accuracy to 75 for the LeBron passing style, and then 76 for that gold break starter. Ball handle, we're going to push to 77 because, we've got the points left over. We're not upgrading shooting. If you want to be able to score as a slasher, it's really beneficial, particularly, in the rec against five defenders to be able to dribble. In park you can get away with a lot of good cuts and things like that. But if you want to play rec with this build, it's really great and handy to have some dribbling ability. So we're going to push ball handle to 77 and speed with ball to the max at 71. So you'll get silver quick first step with this build and a lot of other silver and bronze badges. You'll have the any dribble animations you can get at 75. Ball handle, so you'll still be able to do some dribble moves. If you're really good at it, it shouldn't be too much of an issue, particularly as you'll be coming up against other centers. Now in terms of defense, we are going to push interior defense to 93. Now we all know he's a fantastic defender. At 93 we just get that Hall of Fame post lockdown. Now for perimeter defense, like we said, we want to push that to 86 to get that silver clamps. You also get gold challenger. I'm not sure how effective that badge is, but it's there at gold level. Now for steal, they didn't track steals, but I'm sure he would have got his fair share of steals, but we're just going to put that to 78, just to get that silver interceptor. And then block. Now it's up to you whether you want to push this to the max. I've just put it to 93 just to get that gold anchor. but of course he's probably worthy of a Hall of Fame anchor. But I've chosen to push the rebounding to the max because he did average 22.5 rebounds a game, which is quite incredible. It's the numbers they were putting up back then in terms of rebounding is just insane. So we're going to push defensive rebound to 99 and offensive rebound to 84. Now, generally, I've found that pushing offensive board up and defensive rebound down actually is more badge efficient, attribute efficient, sorry. But in terms of this one, I've chosen to go defensive, and I saved an extra couple points by putting offensive rebound down to 84. So you can play around with that if you like. In terms of if you want to be more of an offensive rebounding monster, or just get those defensive boards and secure that possession. Now for physicals, speed's going to go to 72. That's not terrible for a 6'9" player, but most importantly, acceleration is going to be at the max. So it will pair pretty nicely with your ball handling ability, in that 70s sort of region. Now strength, we're going to push that to 86. Just to get that gold brick wall and also gold back down punisher, as you can see up the top there. It also help with your box outs and post ups. Having 86 strength is going to be really great as a 6'9" player, particularly if you're playing rec. You may get put at power forward a lot. You possibly be playing small forwards at power forward that don't really have a heap of strength, so you'll be able to back them down really efficiently. Now vert, we're going to push to 75 to get the contact dunks, and the rest is going to go on stamina for 91 stamina. And that's the build. So in total you have the 21 finishing, 0 shooting, 17 playmaking, 31 defensive badges, for a total of 69 badges on this pretty much lockdown, playmaking slasher build. It's got great defense. You can always tinker with that in terms of what you want to be really great at. If you want to be, Hall of Fame block rating, or you want that Hall of Fame defensive rebound or offensive rebound, you've got silver clamps with, great interior defense and post defense. It can take guys off the dribble with decent animations, particularly if you're very good with dribbling. And, you've got, a fairly vast array of finishing at the rim. You've got decent layup, the contact dunks, got 80 standing dunk for those animations, those athletic standing dunks. You've got the goal post moves and really great interior scoring rating. So should have a lot of fun with the build. In terms of the takeovers, I just chose Pain Intimidation because, he's a rim protector at his core, and then See the Future because he was so good at rebounding back in the day as well. But as you can see, you've got shades of Bill Russell, Anthony Davis, and Bam Adebayo. So Bill Russell's there. If you're after that, you've made a defensive anchor, and we'll take a look at the badges. So for Bill Russell, you probably want to be looking at the post badges, particularly if you think you're going to be playing in the post a lot. You can put them up to gold. I'll just put them on silver for now. Limitless takeoff is there. You can put that, I might put that gold just to get it to 9. And maybe you want Slithery Finisher just to help as a slasher. Of course, Acrobat's there, bronze, that could help with any Euro steps that you may want to do, just the smoothness of the animation. Fearless Finisher is there as well, but you've got the 11 points left over. You can call Fast Twitch gold, put Posterizer on, maybe bronze, and if you want to prioritize those standing dunks a bit more, you can put Rise up on silver, and that could be a really effective, finisher, particularly in the park, but also in the rec center as well. Being able to score interiorly, and then also on drives. Now for shooting, I always say if you don't have any shooting badges in your build, if you've made a real, slasher build, it's a bit handy to have to put one of your extra badge points into shooting just to get slippery off ball. It's just a really handy badge to have running around the court. Now in terms of playmaking, definitely want the break starter goal just to help with those really great outlet passes. Quick first steps there. You may want to put on Needle Threader just to help, with those outlet passes. Now in tier 3, you got the 7 points left. So as we look, you can see that Clamp Breaker you can get silver. That'll help with your drives to the rim, and also Unpluckable just to help you not get stripped. Now there is an option to put on Killer Combos or handles for days, but with the low ball handle, it's not terribly low. You'll still get a lot of animations at 75 ball handle, but I don't expect you'll be wanting to use a heap of dribble moves with that rating. You want to be more efficient with it, so I don't know if Killer Combos and handles for days is more appropriate for the build. I think Unpluckable and Clamp Breaker, just being able to take a couple dribbles and just go, will be more effective. Of course, with the extra badge point, you may just want to put on Dimer just to help your teammates out and get some of those assists. Now for defense and rebounding, you got 31 badge points here. Anytime you can get over 30, that's a lot of badge points to use. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put on some, core ones that we know are good. So clamps and interceptor on silver. To be a bit more efficient with the badge points, we're just going to put box out beast on silver to get the 10. Then down here, you can core rebound chaser, put pogo stick on Hall of Fame, put anchor on gold, and still have 6 left to put brick wall on silver. So that's 21 badge points in tier 3, which is fantastic, and all these badges are great as well. Now obviously you can still get pretty good screens without brick wall, so you may want to put that off. If you take that off, you've got 6 left. You can get the chase down artist to get those animations. Menace if you like bumping people a bit. Gloves there. You can do a lot of things. Challenger, but if you want the silver brick wall, if you think that makes a difference to you, when you're playing, you can always put that on silver and make a really great defender. All in all, that's the build. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a really great day.